Oh,
Oh, I forget. So Melissa, I am going to keep adding people. I'm going to turn the baton over to you. You have, as I know you're doing a call right after this, so you have as long or little as you want. And then were you going to ask me something before you got started?
I don't remember.
Okay.
All right, thanks for having me, guys. That was fun. I'm gonna go now. No, I'm just kidding. No, thank you so much for having me. You guys, seriously, it's an honor and a blessing. I love looking at the screen and seeing who's on. Hi, Pat. It's good to see you. Amy Mark Charles, I love you so much. It's so good to see your guys' faces. Anna's on here somewhere. Yes, Anna. Anna threw my hat in the ring on this one. So appreciate you. Hello, Jenny. It's good to see your face. Okay, so I love looking and seeing who's on. Kim Evans, good to see you. And Kara Lewis, I thought for a second you were holding a snake and it was just a cat's tail, but I thought you were holding a snake and we were gonna have to talk about that for a second. So, hi, Steph Frost. Okay, oh my gosh, the screens just continue and continue. Hi, Rhonda. Patty Wonder. Patty, you tagged me in something today, I think. Aubrey, I mean, I'm really happy that you're here. I'm super happy that you're here. But like, you've heard me talk now like 6 times. Like, don't you have something else to do? No, I'm just kidding. I want you here. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I want you here. Anna will beat me up for saying that because she wants you here too. Okay, so good to see your guys' faces. I had to just run through and see. I had to make sure like Heidi and Orville weren't popping on. No, I'm just kidding. Don't we wish? Don't we wish they were popping on and that we could see them? Yeah, we're gonna miss them, but all is good and everything is going to be just fine. So I am Melissa Gratz. I like Jacqueline Roy's introduction and bio of me way better than my own. There's only, well, okay, so there's a few things that she totally made me look better on. But I've been with Scentsy since 2008. I am a superstar director. I did not intend to do Scentsy full-time ever. In fact, I started my Scentsy business by learning the scents by playing a drinking game. Yeah, that got your attention, right? So we were a 1-income household, and I was pretty much capped out at my salary. And I had been there 6 years, and I probably was about capped out. And so I ended up getting a second job at Bath and Body Works at night. I did like the floor setting after the store closed. And but I was making like $6.25 an hour and working 50 hours a week at my other job and then working at Bath and Body Works. And so weird, Bath and Body Works, if none of you, I mean, I'm sure there is a Scentsy consultant on this call that has worked at Bath and Body Works, because every time I tell this story, somebody sends me a message afterwards and says, oh my God, I worked at Bath and Body Works. They have an on-call system. So for $6.25, I was on call 6 days a week because it completely depended on sales numbers. And they had to see how the segment was before they knew if you were going to come in for your shift. So I found myself questioning, like, if I was ER doc on call or like lotion emergency on call. And I was lotion emergency on call. And I decided I did not want to be married to that job. So I stumbled upon Scentsy. Didn't really stumble. My sister introduced me. Her friends were all using it. They had gifted her a warmer, hoping she would join the business. She had done direct sales before. She said no. She was going to pass the baton to me. I, instead of buying Scentsy, bought a business. I had not used it before, but I knew that I loved fragrance and I knew that I could probably sell to my inner circle. And so I started the business. I had no intention of doing anything with it. I'm not even kidding you when I tell you the way that I learned the fragrances in the first like 2 months, 3 months of being a consultant was on Friday nights. My friends would come over, they'd blindfold me, they'd put a scent under my nose. If I got it right, they had to drink. And if I got it wrong, I had to drink. And that's legitimately how I learned skinny dipping and camu for like the very first time. So didn't expect to do anything with it, but I earned sensational start level 2 without trying. And when I say without trying, I wasn't giving energy to my business. I just was making people smell testers and they loved the way my house smelled. So I ended up promoting to director by August of that year. So February I joined, August of that year I made director, and that's when I realized I probably should like treat this as a business. In fact, I remember my sponsor, my superstar director, calling me and saying let's see, it would have been July because it was the prior month. She called and said, "You're $1,000 on the last day of the month. You're $1,000 away from director. You could hit director tonight. You could hit director. Push it." And I was like, I'm not going to push it because I want to hit my numbers naturally. And so I am going to wait. And I think that it'll happen next month. And it did. And I haven't not been paid as director. I have not been paid at superstar director. And I feel like I wanted my natural progression and I wanted to stay where I was. Like I didn't want to fall back. Now, that isn't to say that it doesn't happen. It does. It happens. It's not to say that if you do fall back, you didn't do something right. I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying that I didn't force it. And there will be times in your business and in your downline's business where you feel like you could force things. And sometimes it's right to force and push. Force is maybe a wrong word. Push them to strive. And sometimes it's okay to let things happen naturally. So I promoted to director in August. I then decided it was time to do something with this. I had only anticipated doing Scentsy for 6 months. You get in, you make some quick money, and you leave, right? That's what people in direct sales do. Except, where were my customers going to go after 6 months when I got them hooked on Scentsy and I left? So 13 years later, here I am. I will never do anything else. I will never leave. So I promise you, if you leave, you can just pass your customers to me. I will be happy to serve them because I'm not going anywhere until the end of time, until the end of time. And actually my business is going to continue to go because what maybe you don't know about Scentsy is Scentsy is a legacy business, which means we can pass our businesses down to our kids, or we can pass our business to a family member, or upon something happening to us, our business lives on. Our business lives on. And I never, ever would have thought joining direct sales that I'd be joining a legacy business and not just a direct selling company where everybody gets in, makes quick money, does it for 6 months and leaves. So this is my legacy business. It is the love of my life. There is no place else I'd rather be. There's no other people I'd rather be doing it with. We're pretty fortunate. We've got a kick-ass product. We've got a kick-ass company. Pardon my language. It's late enough. Maybe there's not a lot of little kids around, except for babies, right, Michelle? But the product is amazing. The company is amazing. The community is amazing. And company-wide, our leadership is pretty damn amazing. And when I say leadership, I'm saying, like, I'm not in anybody's downline or upline here. But we have the type of relationship and the type of community where all it takes is a text message. And I'm like, yep, Jack, I got your back. Absolutely. I will absolutely talk on your call. You know, what's funny is if you actually think about it, we're all competing consultants, right? We all sell the same product. So I could sell to your customers. Remember, if you leave the business, you're passing your customers to me, remember? So, but we all sell the same thing. We all have the same opportunity to offer. But there's something different about Scentsy. Because even though we kind of are in competition, we don't see it that way. Because the better you are, and the better Jacqueline is, and the better Amy is, and the better Anna is, the better Scentsy is. Right? So if we can make the greater good better, we're all better. And so we are part of something, if you don't already know it, we are part of a community that is incredible and unlike most other places. So you're in the right place. Congratulations. It took me that much to tell you. It took me that long to tell you you were in the right place. We're so glad that you're here. We hope that you never leave because there's a group of us on here that won't ever. And so if you stick with us, I promise at least if nothing else, we'll have a good time. So this is a leadership chat, but then leaders got to invite 5 of their rock stars, right? So we have leaders and then rock stars, and rock stars could be certified consultants all the way up to superstar directors, right? Or star directors, right? So I'm kind of talking to a wide audience. However, you're here for a reason. So I'm actually just going to talk, and if something is, I don't know, if something's, I think you'll do just fine. I think you'll do okay. So, and if you have anything that you want to ask me too, I'll circle back around toward the end and just kind of scan the questions and see if there's anything specific that you might want to know or ask. Do I work my business every day? Yeah, pretty much. But does it feel like work? No. You know, sometimes I forget that we get paid to do this. Sometimes I forget that, oh my gosh, it's the 8th. We could totally get paid today. It's not really the 8th. We have 1 day left till the end of the month. I didn't want somebody to get artificially excited that tomorrow was payday. But it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like work. And I love that there's so many aspects of our business that we get to do. Some of it's tougher than others. Some of it's a little bit more outside of our comfort zone than others. But it's fun. What we do is fun. Let me remind you, what we do is fun. If you are not having fun doing what you're doing, why are you doing it? You have to be having fun. Your customers want to do business with somebody that's fun. Your hosts want to host with somebody that's fun. Your team members want to join with somebody that's fun. And if you're thinking, oh, I'm okay. I'm like kind of fun. No, you can smile and be fun. And working this business is fun, and labeling our bars is fun. And putting new wax in our warmers is fun. And demoing product is fun. And talking to our team is fun. And booking a party and being excited about it is fun. Because if you aren't having fun, who wants to join you? Who is like, man, she looks like it's a drag. That looks like a drag. I think I'll join. Nobody. Boy, she is so boring. I think I'll book a party with her. No. You have to capitalize on the things you find fun about your business and run with it. So I'm a totally creative person. I love letting my creative outlet, like just Scentsy is kind of my creative outlet in a lot of ways. But I take the things I enjoy doing and I put them somehow into my business. Okay, what does that mean? Well, I mean, I like my orders to look good. It's a reflection of me. I like handwritten notes. It's a reflection of me. Everything having to do with my business is a reflection of me. I will even go as far as say, I did at one point I better talk a little quieter. I did at one point have my website on my spouse's car until I got a phone call about her erratic driving. And that's a reflection on me. And I did inform the person I'd be firing my employee. And then when she got home, I scraped the website off her car. And it's still a really hot topic in our house. But I did inform that person that that employee was fired. So anyhow, moving on, everything with your business is a reflection of you. Okay? So what do you want people to know? What do you want people to feel? What do you want people to think of when they think of you? In fact, I have a card. I have a card that I put in with every single order, and it says thanks on the front. And it's just a business card. It's business card size. And it says thanks on the front, and on the back it says, when you think of Scentsy, I want you to think of me. I want you to think there is nobody else I would rather do business with. Because of you, I get to wake up every morning and do something I truly love. And I mean it. I totally mean it. I am afforded all of the opportunities that I have because I stayed the course. I stayed the course. I wasn't distracted by things along the way. I wasn't distracted by the excuses, right? Because you can't make money and excuses at the same time. And we can take it a step further and not even say money. You can't make things happen and make excuses at the same time. You can't. And I am telling you, where there is a will, there is a way. And I'll give you an absolute perfect example that I am on cloud nine about. Where there is a will, is there's a way. And I'm like, today, I was like, you know what? I can totally use this example in our business. If you want something bad enough, you will go to the ends of the earth to get it. You will stop at nothing to get it. For instance, if you follow me on any social, I'm obsessed with Halloween, hardcore. And the one thing on my Halloween bucket list this season has been the 12-foot Home Depot skeleton. Now, if you're into Halloween, you probably know what I'm talking about. If you're not into Halloween, you don't realize this is like the Oogie Boogie casino warmer for Scentsy. It's like, I don't know, give me something that's going to hit black market super fast. Okay, that's what this is. So I've been stalking it since last Halloween. My brother wants it so bad. Okay, well, tell your brother, where there's a will, there's a way. So I've been stalking it since last Halloween. It hit the black market. It retails for $2.99. It hit the market for $1,200 to $1,800. Okay, ridiculous. Just how we feel, exactly how we feel when we see Mrs. Potts on eBay for $325. Right? We're like, who would pay that? And then I have to think I have a hard time selling Mrs. Potts at $85. Give me a break. So when somebody says $85, I'm like, yeah, you can buy it from me for $85, or you can go on eBay when you realize you want it and pay $325. It's up to you. $85 doesn't sound so bad. So, stocked it since last Halloween. It went live for order in July, sold out in like 2 seconds, because online you're competing with like bots, right? That are like robotic. I'm never going to win against a bot. There's just no way. So anyhow, the long of the short is, yesterday I called around to a ton of Home Depots. I've stocked all the ones in my area. I know which ones haven't sent their Halloween displays yet. And I found a Home Depot yesterday that finally, the girl was super nice to talk to me and gave me a little bit of information. And this morning I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning. At 5:30, I was in Home Depot's parking lot. At 6:01, I was at the service desk. And here's my moral of the story for you. Well, one of two morals. Sometimes you fake it till you make it, because I acted at that service desk like I knew more than she did. I said, okay, I have been doing my research. I have called around all the Home Depots. I know which stores have set their Halloween. I know which ones haven't. I know that the moment you set your Halloween on your display floor, you have the ability to sell me the 12-foot skeleton. I also know that you have them in stock. I was told yesterday by somebody very sweet at your service desk that if I was here this morning, I'd be able to purchase. I want you to know I left with the skeleton. And I was standing at the sink this morning and I thought, when you stop at nothing to get what you want, you get what you want. And sometimes you'll fall short, but you'll learn a lesson. So last year when I didn't get it, I learned my lesson. I needed to be more prepared. And this year I started preparing. So think of skeleton time as incentive period, right? And I started preparing long before incentive period. What was my plan of attack going to be? And then when it comes time, sometimes you just fake it till you make it and you act like you know more than the people around you. Remember, your consultant or your team, your customers, they all look to you as if you're the expert in Scentsy, even if today's your first day. Everybody around you sees you as the expert. They don't know any different unless you tell them that it's different. Moral of the story is legitimately, this is why excuses are for shit. They will get you absolutely nowhere. And we all have them. And you notice we'll let ourselves down before we let anybody around us down. Right? Our self-talk, we are the biggest jerks to ourselves. If I'm like, because I gave up Diet Coke was a drug of mine, and I could self-talk myself in being like, nobody would know. Just have one, nobody will know. Come on, you can do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna have a Diet Coke. No, you're not gonna have a Diet Coke. Like, we give in to ourselves and we will rationalize with ourselves, but before we will let somebody else down. This is what, don't be a jerk. This is why having accountability and having other peers in this business working the business with you is powerful. When you work this business alone, it's very easy for you to not show up. It's the same as the gym buddies analogy, right? If you know you're meeting somebody at the gym, you go because you don't want to let them down. But if you're not meeting them, you're like, you'll let yourself down before you'll let others down. So there's power in numbers. I encourage you, and Jacqueline, I want to give you this idea. I did this with another group recently. And what we did is I created a post. Actually, we did it on the monthly movement page. I don't know if any of you are in there, but it used to be the Active and April page. And now it's the monthly movement. But anyhow, I think that it would be very powerful if you guys did it within your group. Make a post, and I can send you the wording and the graphic too, Jack, that says, what are you good at? That's what the post says. What are you personally good at? Because you have the ability then to shop that list for things you're looking for. So if I'm really good at Amy templates, and Anna's really good at graphic designing, and Jamie is really good at text templates for the team, and somebody else is really good at warmer and scent of the month, communication, or the customer newsletter at the beginning of the month, you guys create a foursome, and you don't work harder, you work smarter. So at the beginning of each month, you create, here's the things I create, and let me get them out to Kathy, Michelle, and Pat. Okay, and then Kathy does, all right, well, here's what I did. Instead of doing the 4 things, you're doing 1 thing, and you guys are an accountability group where you're sharing with each other. So I'll give you that post, and I'll give you that wording so that everybody can post what they're good at. What do you excel at? What do you do every month? And then you shop the list for things where you're like, you know what? If I could get rid of writing my customer newsletter each month, that would free me up to be with my kids. That would free me up to be able to watch that one show that I want to watch. Whatever it is, reward yourself, right? If you can free up a little bit of time, because let's be real, our job, Scentsy, there's no clock out. It doesn't stop. There's always something to do. There's always a pile of something, right? We don't get to punch out. And sometimes that's the overwhelming that burns us out. Burnout's real. Burnout happens to all of us, but it's how you handle burnout that sets us apart. You're not allowed to sit in overwhelm or burnout for very long. It's not a good place. It's not productive. It's negative, and it will not get you a single one of your goals. Here's again where your power group comes into play. When you feel like other people are relying on you, you perform differently than if you were only performing for yourself. But we all have times when we feel like it's too, I just don't even know what to do. I have so much to do between school starting and getting the kids ready to go back to school and new catalog and COVID, and the list is a mile long. But here's the thing. Your business will be here tomorrow. The business will be here tomorrow so long as you don't make a stupid decision for it not to be. And I will flat out call you out. Not you. I don't need, if you showed up to this call, I don't need to probably call you out. But I'm saying, who quoted me earlier? Don't be a jerk. I'm going to say, don't be stupid too. Because we all have days where we're like, that's it. I need, I don't even know what I need, but I need to just take a 20-second timeout and get my shit in order. And tomorrow you wake up and your business is still there. See, here's the really cool part. If you heard me speak at convention a couple of years ago, I was on stage and I don't even remember. I think I was on a panel and I don't remember what the question was, but I had shared on stage on how my parents never asked me if I had thought my career, my 16-year career, had run its course. They had never asked me what next with regards to that job. But they always asked me if I thought Scentsy had run its course. They've always asked me if I thought, have you seen the heyday with Scentsy? What are you going to do next? What are you going to do? What are you going to do after Scentsy? Well, here's the funny part. The job they never asked me what I was going to do next with is the job that merged with a larger company and let me go after 16 years. But I'm still with Scentsy. Almost 14 years. And I don't have to worry about what next. I don't have to worry about them letting me go. I don't have to worry because I am in charge of that worry. I am responsible for what next. I'm responsible for how my business does. I'm responsible for how I perform. So funny, in the minds of the world, why is it that what we do is silly? Why is it that what we do isn't real? I assure you, it's pretty darn real. It's pretty real because it pays my bills. And it's so real that I've been doing it for 13 years. Because something that isn't real, you don't really get to do it for 13 years. And here's what's even cooler. I get to do it with other consultants that have been here 13 years. I get to do it with two of the women, the two of two, that started the company. I get to do it with the very first consultant, Deanie. They're all still here. What does that tell you? What does that tell you about the health of a company, the longevity of a company, when the average of your leaders is a decade or more? Think about if you went to convention and all of your superstar directors that are on here, think about if you went to convention and your superstar directors weren't there. Wouldn't that feel weird? Wouldn't that feel lonely? Would you feel like something was up? Would you feel like, I don't know, something feels off? Because I remember approaching Casey Stevenson years ago. If any of you know her, she's an SSD. She started before me. I remember approaching her at one of my leadership trips, and I stopped her. We had never had a conversation before, and I said, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for always showing up, because your face has become a comfort, familiar face in the crowd to me. And when I show up and I see you here, then I know I'm in the right place. I know that things are good. She was the face in the crowd for me that made me feel like I was in the right place. So for you leaders, I'm telling you, it damn matters when you show up, because you don't know who's watching you. You don't know who is saying absolutely nothing but is watching what you do. When you choose to not show up to a training call, when you choose to not show up to a meeting, when you choose to not show up to a convention, when you choose to not show up, people notice. Your people notice. I always say this about social media as well. It's like a dark auditorium. Have you ever really realized how many people watch you say nothing and you added them like forever ago and you completely forgot that your ex-husband's mother's sister is still following you on social? or your ex-boyfriend's mother from high school, I mean, let's be real. Obviously that's, I was just searching, or I was just going through, like if you post stories, especially on Facebook, you can look and see who's viewed your story. I don't know if you knew that or not, but I just built my most recent list of 100 based on who's watching my stories that is not a Scentsy consultant. Because people are paying attention to me. And I wouldn't even think to ask some of these people if they need Scentsy, because I didn't think they were paying attention. But damn it, they are paying attention. The old CPA from the firm that did business with my other job from 12 years ago is following me and watching my stories. Like, it's very interesting to see your friends from high school, your friends from college, people, your old coworkers. So I built my most recent, and there wasn't a total of 100, but my most recent list of 100 came off of people watching my stories. If you're already watching what I'm doing, we may as well do something together. Whether it be you host, you finally join, or you're at least going to buy the product, for crying out loud. But you forget who's watching you. You forget who's watching you when you choose what you post on social. You represent yourself, remember? We talked about that. Everything that you do is a reflection of you. What you say on social, what you comment on social, what you choose to put out into the world is a reflection of you. Remember, you want it to be the people want to do business with you. You're a business owner. You have a responsibility to represent Scentsy in a classy way, and you owe it to yourself to represent yourself in a classy way. Yeah? I have not looked at all at the chat or any of the questions or anything. So if there's anything that, I don't know if there's anything.
Hey, Melissa, someone asked on the My Story thing, do you just look at the views on Scentsy stuff or just in general, if whoever's viewing your story?
Oh, in general. Because my story isn't, Scentsy is entwined in my stories. Did I say that right? Scentsy is entwined in my stories. I have been working really, really hard at trying to knock this social media thing. And when I say that, I'm not trying to be an influencer. I'm not trying to go big or go home with it. What I'm trying to do is be consistent, because it's one place that I've struggled. I'm outgoing. I could talk the paint off a wall. That is not my issue. My issue is consistency when I feel like how do I put this? Consistency when I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. Consistency when I feel like I have so much to learn that it's probably better if I just continue to be a spectator instead of a competitor. Except, see, here's what you do. When you shop that list of what people are good at, you find the friend that's really good at social media, and you start following what they do. And you have conversations with them about what they do, until they're giving you feedback and telling you, hey, you're doing a really darn good job of sharing Scentsy without outwardly sharing Scentsy. I'm like, okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this. So I look at who's looking at my stories. It doesn't matter what the story's about. Because if they're watching one thing and they're watching the next day, they're watching my stories. I did just learn a really cool, for any of you that do your stories. Now, mind you, let me back up and tell you, I thought stories were the stupidest thing for the longest time, because I was like, why would you hit those circles over the top? Like, I just want to scroll. Now it's flipped. I don't scroll. I only go to people's stories. Here's what's really cool. Your feed. So, and I mostly hang out on Instagram. I share my stuff over to Facebook, but Instagram is way more my I don't know. I enjoy it there. So your feed is kind of like your personal billboard. This is what I'm learning, right? So this is my what my teacher taught me, I'm teaching you. But your feed, your wall, your Instagram feed is like your billboard. So if somebody goes there, they can do zoop and scroll down like past 18 pictures and be like, this is what she's about. This paints the picture. And people will decide whether they like or follow based on that quick little zzz. Okay. So then your stories are like, here's what's going on every day in Melissa Gratz's life. Here's the store she's at. Here's the Halloween she's buying. Here's the stupid things she's ranting about now. Your stories, and they go away after 24 hours. So if somebody wants to know what I'm doing, they better tune in, because the soap opera doesn't have repeats. Like, it's not on rerun. So your stories are where you get to be more candid. It's not so polished. It doesn't have to be so put together. Your feed is your billboard. Okay. Well, I used to struggle. I didn't know that, number one. Number two, I didn't know how to appropriately share. So let me give you this little tip. And you did not ask me for any kind of social media training, and I never know what direction I'm going in. You guys are getting a little bit of social media training. So what a wise social media person told me was, you figure out what are your 6 things. Okay. What are your 6 things? Scentsie's one of 6, so you need 5 more. What are 5 things you love? What are 5 things you're passionate about? What are 5 things? What's your hobby? What do you like to do in your free time? What are your 5 things? Okay. So if I go to my Instagram, so my Instagram, when somebody goes to it, here's my things. Okay. And I'll tell you why this is important. My things. So when you go, and you can see up at the little top, hold on. See that? That's like, oh, there she is. This is her Instagram. Okay. So it's a 2-mom family adventure, daily perk and positivity, home decor and DIY tips, holiday ideas, home fragrance inspiration. The reason why those things are important is that my feed should always be one of those 6 things, because that's what I'm saying I'm into. That's what I'm saying I'm good at. That's what I'm saying I enjoy. That's what I'm saying is my interest. So when you scroll my feed, it's either about it's a 2-mom journey. It's some kind of shenanigans we're doing with the kids. It's my positivity. I love sharing my mind, my heart. I love however the spirit moves me. I love sharing positivity. I love home decor. I'm good for a hack or 2 once in a while. Holiday ideas, because I decorate. We decorate like crazy for Halloween and for Christmas. So it's, at least, if nothing else, follow me for the next 6 months. I'll give you some content. Might be boring in like January and February, but at least from October through December, I got you. But it gives you pillars. Instead of being like, I don't have anything to post, I don't have anything to share, I'm not interesting, I'm very boring. It gives you pillars. Okay, well, I posted positivity. I can pick one of my other 5 or 6 things and post it. And here's the secret to Instagram. When it's your feed, it doesn't have to be in real time. I take pictures all the time for future. If I am having a day where I'm like, shoot, what should I post? Scroll my camera roll. Easy. But here's the thing. You want people tuning into you because you want people watching you. Because if we're going to be passive with any part of our business, and it's social media, where we just sit back and want people to interact with us and to order from our PWS and book parties via email and call us and be like, I want to do what you do. We have to give them something. We have to give them something for them to interact with us. Because if you're not pounding the pavement and you aren't out there talking to real human beings, then I suggest you up your social game. Then you need to start bonding with people from behind your screen. I've had to get good at it because of COVID. I'm a vendor event girl. I have not done a vendor event in over 18 months. My first one is coming up in a week, and I feel like a brand new consultant that has no freaking clue what she's doing. My display stuff is all over. I've started using my event display stuff for my Halloween decor. I need to pull. It's a hot mess. My inventory system hasn't been updated since I did my last event. I got my iPad for my Amy contact. I'm like, oh, I better get this thing charged. Like I'm a hot mess. I don't ever set an event up the same way. I don't ever host a party the same way. I don't ever run a Facebook party the same way. I have never done a basket party the same way twice. No, maybe that's not working smarter. That's maybe working a little bit harder, but it also means I don't have it all figured out. I don't have it all nailed. I fly by the seat of my pants. I hate sometimes having to step outside of my comfort zone. But I will tell you, you know what I've stopped doing? I've stopped giving a damn about when I ask somebody if they want to join, if they tell me no. I have flat out stopped caring. It's taken me 13 years to say I just don't give a damn. If you don't want it, it's your loss because I know what it's done for me. But I would be an idiot if I didn't at least give you the opportunity to do what I do, because there's no place else I'd rather be. It's also not up to me to make an assumption for anybody that they are not interested in this business. Did you know we have a superstar director that is a millionaire, not from Scentsy? And she does Scentsy because it's her outlet. She doesn't need the money. But she says all the time, do you know how many Scentsy consultants passed me by and didn't offer me the opportunity because they knew I didn't need the money? It's not up to us to assume what somebody wants or needs. It isn't up to us to decide for anybody that a warmer is too expensive for them. It's not up to us to decide whether or not somebody can afford to attend a convention. It's not up to us to decide who should join our business. You don't know what somebody needs. You don't know that that woman has an absolutely horrendous home life and she needs an escape. She needs a network of women to help build her up so she can leave. You don't know what women need. And if there's guys on here, forgive me for saying women, but don't make the decision for people what they need. It's not up to you.
I just got to say amen, Melissa. And I want to add to that too. And I remember before we did this call, a couple people said that they just felt like they needed a spark. You know, maybe they were just going through the motions, or maybe, if I'm being really honest, maybe the cruise didn't personally excite them, but they want to go kick butt and they're going to earn it anyways. Like, what would you say to someone that's on that maybe hasn't worked it like they should the last month or two? I mean, first off, just being on here tonight, step one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
What would I say?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you here? Why are you here? Why do you do Scentsy? Have you dug deep enough to figure out what the hell you're doing here? Because I flat out told you right in the beginning, I'm not going anywhere. This is my love. This is my passion. I get to do what I get to do because of this little candle company. And I get to do it with people I absolutely love being around. And if you don't love being around me, then you're not my people, and it's okay. I'm a little over the top for some. I'm a little underwhelming for others. It's okay. I know, underwhelming.
Wait,
yeah.
Who are you underwhelming for? Come on.
Well, I don't know. Have you ever seen Wendy Heath Newgast's energy?
I mean, that's true. She's maybe.
I mean, sometimes she makes me feel like I am not exciting whatsoever.
That's how Kay Diggins, she was like that for me. Like, you know, just sweet Kay. You can never match that. It's like that windy energy. Amazing.
Yeah. Well, Because again, Kay was just like, was somebody, oh, the doorbell just rang and I'm like, where did that come from? My dog just rang the kid's doorbell on their thing. Not on purpose, he bumped it, but no, around here we train our dog to, I'm kidding. No, but here's the thing. It took me steps to figure out why I'm here. We talk about our why, right? And I think that's a little overplayed. We've heard this a bunch of times. That's not what I'm not talking about. When I say, why are you here? I'm not saying what's your why. There's two totally different questions. I'm here because Sensi filled a void for me. I'm here because I was a lost soul after I left college. In 2002, it took me 6 years to find Sensi and a little bit longer than that to capture a vision with it. But it is exactly what I needed that I never knew I needed. I was so involved in college. I was the vice president of my sorority. I was head of recruitment for our Greek community in college. I could have cared less about my studies, to be honest. I could have cared less. My GPA does not matter today. But what matters is all of the leadership experience that I got. The fact that I can be passionate about things. But when I left college, there was such a huge void. I felt like a nobody. I felt like I completely had no place. I didn't know what my purpose was. I tried joining a bowling league. I became the treasurer of the bowling league. I joined a homeowners association for my condo complex. I was the youngest person by 46 years. I was struggling to find my thing. My thing became Sensi. It started as a wickless candle. It has ended as my calling. I get to talk to 172 people on a Monday night for fun. For fun. And there's no place else I'd rather be. I get excited to do these types of calls. I have another one in 10 minutes and I might tell them I might be just a smidge late. But I love this. I do a team call for my team every Tuesday at 9:15 p.m. and I have for 12 of my 13 years. And I have only had to cancel or reschedule or postpone 10 times in 12 years because it's important I show up. Because my people rely on me. My people rely on the fact that they know that I'm there. Just like I relied on Casey being at every event that I went to. A lot of times leaders have said to me, I do calls, but one person gets on. So you owe it to the one person. And that gives you some solid one-on-one time with them. And I bet you both will learn from each other. Consistency is what matters in this business, not showing up and then hiding. That doesn't work. That's not a business plan. That's not a business plan. Consistency is a business plan. Things happen with momentum. It's a heck of a lot easier to work your business for 10 minutes every day than 1 hour once a week. And at leadership level, I really hope you're not working your business only 10 minutes a day. I hope that it is important enough and you are important enough to yourself to make more time. We have the same amount of time in the day. You might just have to rearrange what it looks like. I have always been a night owl my whole life. Yeah, and in the last 4 weeks, I've decided that getting up way earlier in the morning sets my day a hell of a lot better than when I'm getting up at 8:30 or 9 and running out the door like a chicken with my head cut off. We just have to adjust. We have the ability to adjust. We have the ability to do for ourselves like we do for others. You're worthy of it. But I will ask you again, why are you here? Is it so that you can get the product? Is it so that you can be around people like me and Jacqueline, Jamie, Amy, Anna? It's kind of fun to do the business with people that you want to hang out with, right? I know that's why I love working my business is I'm like, okay, which of my friends wants to hang out with me today virtually? What are we going to get done? What are we going to do? But really, why are you here? Does your family need the money? Could your family use a little bit more money? We could all always use a little bit more money. But why? Because that's what you really need to ask yourself. And if you can't come up with a good answer, why are you here then? Because like I always say, my train is always moving forward and it's up to you. You can get on it or not. You can get on it or not. Quite frankly, it's on you. My motto, my favorite line is, I cannot make people work, but I can show them why they want to. If you stick with me, I will show you why you want to continue to work. We do this because we enjoy it. You have to enjoy it on some level. You have to enjoy it. If it's not fun enough for you, that's where you need to start. Make it fun. Delegate out some of the monotonous labeling, bagging samples. Delegate it out. My son is 2 and he can open a clamshell better than a lot of adults. My daughter can label my bars at 6. Hell, I'm sure you guys, I think she was labeling at like 3. Delegate it out. There's only certain things that you can do, but there's a lot of things that you can delegate out. Have a friend over for coffee and have them help you label. It's a twofold. You get to spend time with them and you get to talk about your business. Think outside of the box. There are ways to share your business without throwing your business in people's faces. There's ways for you to be more productive. There are ways for you to work smarter, not harder. And there are ways for you to build a power group that holds you accountable. 3 minutes.
Girl, you, Melissa, you are amazing. So I'm just going to pull out some notes that I took. And I would highlight all of them, but there's just a lot. But I'm redoing my labels because I love, I do have on, let me mute real quick. The top real quick. I do have on there, I'm going to add to my labels because of you, I get to wake up and do something I love. That's brilliant. I have labels that I put on my stuff that just says, thank you for supporting our family business. But I'm going to add that to it because I love that. And I loved about the creeping on my story thing. I'm definitely going to do that. I love the part where you said like pick different things, like 6 different things and focus on that. Cause I don't want mine to always be the same. I want it to be something people go to, and look for ideas too. So I'm going to work on that. I have a lot of notes.
We never aren't learning.
I know.
That's what's so cool too, is I've always said like the day I stop learning things is the day it's time for me to move on.
Yeah.
I learn things every single day.
Yeah. And I think that's
every single day.
You apart and then maybe non-successful is because you're open to learn and you admit that you don't know everything. I mean, half the time too, I know things, but then I hear your thoughts on it. I hear your perspective on it. And it's something I know I need to be doing, but then it's like, dang, Melissa just told me that I have to do it. And so I have to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Perspective. But I know you need to go. I did draw 2 winners for full sets of testers. I used random.org and I scrolled through the list. And Sarah Doyle and Thomas Jardinay, you know Denise and Thomas. Thomas, you won a full set of testers. And I expect you to take them everywhere for Denise. And I expect you to get a bunch of orders for her because your name was drawn for a full set of testers. I'm sure you guys know Thomas and Denise. They're amazing. So I'll reach out to you guys and get your address. Melissa, you're amazing. I am so thankful.
Jack.
Seriously, I know it's, I mean, you rock my socks. Like, you are so inspiring.
You're cute.
You have a way of projecting truth and inspiration in a loving, like, crisp way. And I appreciate you so much. I know that we aren't in your money line at all, but now you have about,
I wish.
Well,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But now you have 180 more fan girls and boys that just love.
Well, and do me a favor too, and I will get you the post and the graphic for your power groups.
Okay.
But do me a favor too, if you have the ability, can you send me the chat so that I can go through and see what people said, so I could answer some of it?
Yeah. Yep. I can do that. And I'm recording this. I'll upload it to YouTube and send it to you if you want to use it.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be awesome.
Page or whoever.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. You somebody, I think I did see one. What is on that little note card? And it's on the front it says thanks, and on the back it says
because of you.
Yeah, because of you. No. When you think Scentsy, I want you to think of me. I want you to think there is nobody else I would rather do business with. Because of you, I get to wake up in the morning and do something. I get to wake up every day and do something I truly love.
I'll get the graphic from Melissa too. That way you guys can see. If Melissa's cool with that, and that way you guys can see.
Yeah, that's perfect. Absolutely.
Yay. Okay, well, jump on your other call. Melissa, we're all giving you like air hugs and thank you.
Air hugs.
Yes,
Yay.
he's giving you air hug. Everyone give Melissa air hugs.
Am I going to see you, Jackie, am I going to see you in next week? Amy, am I going to see you next week?
And Fifi and Shonda and Kelsey and Karma.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Fifi. And I'm sorry I didn't call you out, Fifi. I only had.
Oh, I just got here.
Oh, well, that's why.
I was speaking on the United We Rise page. And I said in the comments, I walked in and you had that belt out swinging it on everybody. I was like, oh, there she goes.
Wait, what?
Fired.
What did I miss?
She said,
nothing. I just walked in late and I came in. You were going to town. I was like,
oh, well,
okay. Well,
and so I could only see who's on my first page. And so that's, if there's any other SSDs on the subsequent pages and I didn't reference you, I apologize. It's only because
it's all right. We'll see you next week.
I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
You guys, thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you. We love you, and I'll get to see you next week.
Yay! Okay.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.